I'm here today with Alex from Bob Coffee Lab in Bucharest. He has recently participated in the World Brewers Cup in Chicago, and you have achieved the highest score in the open service round. Can you tell us a bit about the coffee you were using? It was CGLE 17, right?
Yes, it was. And it was a very nice coffee. This is what I can tell you. But because I'm not a big fan of blending, I saw this trend, everybody's like mixing different varieties, different coffees, and then I was like, or different species. I was like, I found this coffee. I'll tell you later about it, how I found it as well.
Yes, please.
And the thing is, it's actually a hybrid between two very famous varieties like gesha and caturra. And it was absolutely fantastic. Like, I don't know, for me it was, I think, one of the best coffees that I ever had. It was not easy reaching that point. I had like so many ups and downs in terms of everything, brewing, roasting, water, everything. But it was super fun. And this coffee is like, it will remain in my brain one of the best that I had, for me at least.
I'm so jealous. I wish I could have tried it.
Maybe you will.
In your routine, you mentioned your coffee was mechanically dried for 240 hours.
Yeah.
It's quite longer than usual.
Yeah,
right?
it is. I mean, it was, to be honest, it was very clean in terms of, because it was like fermented for 120 hours, around 120 hours. And yeah, definitely, but everything was like in control temperature. So to be honest, I haven't visited the farm. I'm still trying to get there, but we're very busy with opening a new roastery. I mean, moving the older roastery to the new one, which is going to be a bit bigger. And it is very interesting what they do, like drying for so long and like keeping the coffee for like, fermenting for 120 hours. But the result was very clean. It's interesting. I'm also very, keen on going there and seeing exactly how they do it. Like Café Granja La Esperanza is very famous for doing this kind of coffees, very clean, but also very funky in a way,
You're also a world roasting champion. You mentioned you roasted your coffee in an air roaster. Can you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yes.
How did you approach the roasting?
It was quite difficult, especially for the nationals, because I had, I think, 2 kilos of coffee, of this coffee. And it was very challenging, to be honest. So I did many batches, like in total for the national, but not with this coffee, obviously. In total, I did like 160 batches before getting to a certain point that I wanted to. Crazy. But of course, not with that specific coffee, because I had like only 2 kilos, and it was very tricky, So I played a lot with the airflow and the drum speed, mostly, in order to get what I wanted from the coffee, to get like a very nice silky mouthfeel and no dryness. I have an issue. I don't like necessarily dry coffees. I mean, nobody likes, those.
Yeah.
Plus, you play by a specific, score sheet. So everything you need to dial in as much as possible, because you cannot fill the score sheet completely with, it's impossible to get it like an extraordinary coffee from in a competition. When you're brewing just one coffee, it's a bit different. When you're brewing 3, it gets more complicated, But in terms of roasting, it needs to be like, there. And for the world in total, it went up to 500 something batches till I got, again, crazy. I know it's crazy, but I'm always like this.
Hard work pays off.
Yes, to be honest, yeah. But it was very funny, you know, to see how different coffees react to the heat application that I was aiming for, and also with different drum speeds and different airflows as well. So especially being the machine that I used, it's the small one. It's called Roast, I think. I hope Roast, doesn't matter exactly. Both are very good. Yeah, it was very, very, very nice. It's a very, very nice machine, you know, because it has a drum that you can spin it, like you can play with the drum speed. Some of them have a steady drum and you cannot play. It's only playing by batch size. But with this one, you have everything, you know, you can control it like.
It's great to be in control of
Yeah, yeah. And I do it manually all the time. I don't do it automatically. Especially for the competition like profiles, I prefer to do it manually just because I'm, you know.
Yeah.
It's not very easy to roast this coffee, but it's not very, I mean, if you keep it like, you know, don't overcomplicate stuff. This is what I try to do. If
Not
you complicate,
overcomplicate.
yeah.
I do have one curiosity. Did you travel to Chicago with the coffee already roasted, or did you roast it in Chicago?
I think everybody's asking this question. But it's a good question. I roasted it there. So I traveled with the machine with me because I didn't know exactly how the water will affect the flavor profile, or how the whole environment. So I wanted to be safe. It's like, okay, I will carry it with me. If I need it or not, I will see there. And I had to adjust again the profiles again, obviously. But it was not so difficult, you know, it was like a few batches and I nailed them. So it was nice.
Speaking of water, when you travel overseas to compete, you're not allowed to, obviously, not allowed to bring large quantities of water in your luggage. How did you get around this problem when traveling to Chicago?
It was very easy. I didn't bring any water with me.
Oh, great.
So that's why I brought the roaster with me, because I wanted to play a bit safer, you know. Anyway, if you take the water with you, it changes throughout the days. So it's quite like impossible to have it like the same back home, you know.
Yeah.
It changes, you know. So I prefer to find a different water there, build it up with different minerals, and then based on that, to roast it accordingly for the water that I was using there.
Yeah,
so it was a combination, yeah.
Adapts to what you find there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it was, you know, the coffee was very stable. So that was something very helpful for me. Because if I had many competitions where I had like unstable coffees, and it was not fun at all. Like last year in Greece, I had some issues with the coffee. Whatever I did, it didn't want to taste like home. I roasted the coffee there, brewed with so many different kind of waters, but it's still like, it just is like, nope, I will not come out. So it was fun, you know, in a way. But I still have no clue why that happened. So it's always a risk, you know. It's coffee. Everything gets super complicated.
Yes, and every detail matters.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yes, it does.
Hey, out of curiosity, how did you come up with the name Bob for your roaster?
For the that's a nice question, because we're more partners in the company. One of our guys is doing this marketing stuff and branding as well, and he came up with this name, which is very interesting. You know, Bob means bean in our language, like any kind of bean, like, you know, could be like wheat, could be like grapes, any type of bean, you know. Mm-hmm. But obviously it's very catchy, like Bob. Could be a, you know, a person, could be a name. And actually it's very catchy. Very short, very catchy. And we have made a lot of t-shirts and all this stuff with Son of a Bob. And it's very funny because whenever I travel, I always get like, hey, I'm a son of a Bob as well, you know? So it's like, nice. Every single time, either in customs or like, you know, when I'm going through security, because I travel mostly with my grinders and they ask like, what is this, what is that? And they're like, oh, nice, Bob. I'm a son of a Bob as well, you know? So it's...
That must feel very good for you.
Yeah, it's very catchy, you know? It's a common name, let's say, but it's very nice. It's funky. It has its own personality, let's say.
Getting the highest point in the open service round was a massive achievement. You've sourced and brewed the highest scoring coffee in the entire competition. Unfortunately, what happened at the compulsory round? Have you worked out where you lost the points?
Yeah. I mean, back home, I trained with completely, I mean, not completely different coffees, but like from very dark to very light coffees, like, you know, all the way. And I used the same grinder that was used in competition. I had exactly the same burrs and everything. But the problem was with the grinder on stage. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be so unaligned, you know. And I'm not a big fan of sieving the coffees because you always get like something, you know. I managed to get some very nice recipes, like for dark roast, for medium roast, light, washed. And because I trained with everything, washed, naturals, even blends. So just to be sure that I get like, you know, a recipe that works for most of them. But the problem was in my, you know, because I didn't sift or anything like this, it was, you could see completely that is totally different than back home. So I was not expecting this. I mean, I was expecting either to be very light or very dark or, you know, but I wasn't expecting the grinder to be like an issue. But this is competition, you know. It was fun. It was. I was expecting, you know, to have better results with it, but this is what it is, you know. I cannot change.
Can you tell us about the Ora V4 brewer? What's different about the version you've used?
Yes, it's a bit different, let's say. It's like the V4 is like, you know, very, very, very versatile. You just unscrew the base and you have like 4 options, and all of them will, you know, will affect your taste profile in the end, you know. Not just the flavor, but also the tactile and the aftertaste and so on. So I chose this particular base. I don't know if you can see it, but it's they call it the fast because it has a lot of ridges underneath. But basically, like the filter stands on top of it, so you get like a bit of airflow underneath the bed of coffee. So it helps you with, like, it makes the dripper being more consistent, and then also it helps the flow to be a bit faster than the other bases, let's say.
And it looks like you're using a V60 filter.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have a flat bottom.
Yes, true.
So what's your thinking behind this?
Basically what I did is I made from a flat bottom, I made half flat and half conical. So this was the thing, you know. I made it because when you put the filter in it, it stays exactly like, basically it's half sitting on these ridges, yeah, and then half that it goes like underneath. So it kind of like creates a bit of angle, but like, you know, like this, and then goes like steeper. So it made like very, very nice cups, you know, not necessarily with my coffee, but with all the coffees that I tried before, it was like nice. Well, I enjoyed it a lot. And also I broke the rule, which was a bonus, you know, because Horia from Ora was saying, oh, this is not a, you know, a conical. I mean, this base is not supposed to work with conical filters, but rules have to be broken. It was different in a good way with my coffee and the results that I had. So nice device. You should try it out.
We have tried it, and
Yes, I know.
we tried brewing in our Ora before by screwing the paper directly into the bottom of the device to prevent any bypass from happening. But it really choked up compared to having the paper in place. So clearly there's still plenty of bypass happening. What was it about the Ora that made you decide to use it rather than zero bypass brewer like Trickle 8?
Yeah, obviously it's not like, they don't claim it's like zero bypass. Mm-hmm. It just minimizes the bypass. So it makes it more consistent for you as a brewer. And to be honest, also the material keeps the temperature so stable, inside the slurry. So it doesn't like take out the heat like ceramic or different materials. And I enjoyed it a lot. So basically it minimizes the bypass. That's why you saw me negotiate the filters using that tool, basically, which it sticks the paper filter on the wall of the dripper and it creates less bypass. But it also improves the extraction because there's no, at least on the upper part, there's no ridges or there's nothing, but you have the ridges on the lower part, which gives a bit of the airflow, so it can help you out exactly not choking the filter, which can happen.
We also like to experiment.
Yeah, of course, which was a very nice idea to try that. I will try it as well. But you have to find a different maybe paper filter, like the Barista has very fast filters. Maybe that one could be a better option for you if you like that, like to have it like as no bypass. Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks back in CoffeeEast festival in Bucharest, we made some coffee together and your competition coffee tasted amazing. How did you settle on the 3-pour approach? Is it because it encourages a bit more bypass?
To be honest, I didn't think anything about the bypass, like splitting in more pours to have like less or more bypass. But what I was focusing on doing this is because you have again a score sheet. If I do like, let's say 5 pours, I have more chances of messing up the 3 coffees, because you need to be very precise when you pour. So if you do 50 mLs like the blooming, you have to do 50 50 50. So imagine if I did like, I don't know, 5 pours, 50 mLs each, I would have to be 50 50 50 50 50 50 and so on, So I tried to make it, every single pour that I did affected my whole cup. So I had like so many, trials and error, of course. But I really like, to be honest, faster. I like to brew faster, like not to be. Also, I encourage my guys in the bar, like not to stay like 4 minutes for a cup of coffee, because then it can be very crowded during the weekends and, when rush hour is coming, when people come, because, we don't serve batch brew here in Romania, or in our shop at least, we don't. We only do like manual pour overs. Mm-hmm. We tried to make it simple as well, So that's why I did like 3 pours and not like 5, 6, 4 or whatever. So if I could do just 1 pour, 1, 1, 1, because to be honest, I do sometimes just 1 pour and it's amazing. Like, look, for the example, AeroPress, you don't do 5 pours in the AeroPress.
Yeah.
Man, it's fantastic sometimes. It's like, what is this?
By the way, have you tried the Big Boy brewer from Ora yet?
Yes. That one is very nice. I wouldn't use it necessarily in competition because it's like massive. It's like, I mean, if you can do one for all three judges, yeah, it would be nice. But that's very nice for in exhibitions for people back home. Like let's say, you're coming at my place and okay, let's brew a coffee. Instead of brewing 3, let's just brew 1, which is bigger. The Big Boy offers you like a lot of space to brew. You can brew like 1 liter if you want. To be honest, I like it a lot. And I brew with it every morning because I brew more coffee. But anyway, that thing inside, it's very easy because it's basically like a mountain in the middle of the carafe. And then you can swirl very, very well the liquid. And the aromatics are like it enhances the aromatic. It makes it easier for the people to assess the aroma, Mm-hmm. So, but also it looks very, very, very cool, with that thing. And then visually it's like, very appealing as well. Like the color the filter coffee has inside is like nice, super light, and it reflects the color. It's super nice. I don't know. I like them very much. They're super nice.
It completes the experience.
Yeah, I think so. So.
Now, the last question. Ooh. What advice have you got for anyone considering to participate in the Brewers Cup?
First of all, they should start competing, Then you have to explore the whole realm of filter coffee because you have so many options of like choosing filter coffee, devices, filter types. It's basically like an unlimited, things to choose from, and everything is like different, but
it's like a playground. It's like a
it is. I think that's why I like it. Yeah. To be honest, I like filter coffee a lot. I have like so many brewers back home, like different ones. It's like unlimited, It's like a Legoland in my place, like always building up stuff. Okay, let's try this. Let's put this. Let's do this. Let's see what it comes out, So explore this realm, There's like nowadays it's very easy, You have the internet, boom, just you can do whatever,
You can
sky's the limit. Yeah,
you've got it at your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly, Because there's like, so many coffees that we have, like amazing coffees.
Yeah.
Just choose one that, that you like, and it's very important to believe in that coffee. Mm-hmm. Just explore as much as possible and have fun. Having fun is also like, I know sometimes it's very stressful, but you need to have fun in the end. Regarding winning or losing, Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but it's important to have fun and learn from our mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and inspire people in the end. Because it's a small, small community that, we want to try and evolve and brew amazing coffees. So, it's a lot of things.